my channel. I am so glad you are here. Today I am going to do a little tour of my virtual classroom. I did want to mention that the video I'm about to show you is not necessary at all. If you are a teacher in this weird world right now with COVID, I just wanted to let you know that this is not a necessity to do, and I really don't want you to look at this video and compare yourself or feel like you have to do this because you don't. My original plan was not to do this. Originally, teachers were allowed in our building. We are not getting students. I forgot to mention that, but we are not getting students. We are 100% virtual until who knows when. But teachers were originally allowed to go into our classrooms and work from there, and that was my plan. I wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to separate home from work, and I really just wanted to have that little safe space for myself. So that was my original plan. And about not even a week before we get kids, we were told that we are not allowed in the building anymore. And that's actually not because of COVID, but my school is doing a bunch of construction and it's really dusty and dirty and there's like no working bathrooms and it's just a mess in there. So that is actually the reason that we are not in our classroom. So I, like I said, was not planning on doing like a little at-home classroom at all. And then after I got that notice, I was like, okay, I think I need to do this because I need to be excited to wake up, go in the other room, and teach from that room. As soon as I got that notification, literally like that hour, I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's make a little at-home classroom. And I've been kind of making improvements ever since, and that was a couple days ago. So I want to give you a little update of what I have. It is not a big space. I'm really hoping that this maybe helps you get some ideas if you have to do this in your own space. Obviously, we are working in our office, and you should kind of recognize this space if you follow my channel, but this is Ant's entire hat wall that he has, and this is like when you first walk in to our space. Now, I'm not really gonna show you under here because it is a mess, because like I said, I'm working with what we have. We don't have a lot of space, so a lot of our things, like even Ant's stuff, I just like pushed it aside, whatever. This is my little corner space that I am working with, but let me start first with this little backdrop area. The backdrop area was really important for me because obviously this is the only space that students are going to see, and this whiteboard was already here, so all I did was kind of clean it off. I put like, oh good, there's a mosquito in here. I put these little stay positive, do the best you can, these little affirmations. I actually printed a bunch of these out, and I plan on putting them in my classroom around like a mirror or something. I've seen people do this as like an affirmation station, and I thought that was really cute. So for now, I just kind of stuck them up here. And then this is just like a little notepad. Did print out these learning objectives. I actually saw this idea from 5'1" Teacher, where she printed out a bunch of learning objectives, and she put like strip magnets on the back and stuck these on her whiteboard in school. And I plan on doing that, but for now, I just decided to kind of stick them up here with little clippies because I don't have any magnet strips. So obviously they're not really gonna be able to read this from the computer screen, but I know it's there, so that's fine. On the wall, I did stick this with tape, but don't worry, I've taken them off before and kind of moved them around, and it does not peel any of the tape. But plus we need to paint in this room, so I'm not that worried about it. But these are from TPT. I will link below where I got them if you guys are interested in getting them. It came with like 50 of them. Like there's so many, and it's actually for a bulletin board, and you print them out on any color paper that you want. I laminated them, cut them, and I just stuck them up here. And originally I was planning on just having a couple and using popsicle sticks to like stick them up, but I liked this idea better because now the students can constantly look at it when we are talking, and then maybe this will spark some ideas for them. So I really, really like these. And the string lights are just from Amazon. The letterboard is from Amazon. Christmas lights make all the difference. You add Christmas lights to something and everything will look cuter. So that is all that these are from. These are actually from my sister-in-law and my stepbrother, the lights and the letterboard. And they got that off of my Amazon classroom wish list, so that was so nice, and I'm so happy that I have them because I feel like it just makes the space look so much cuter. And I already had this fake plant, but I feel like greenery also kind of just warms up a space. My little letterboard, and then this is just a basket that I grabbed from my classroom, and these have like some necessities in it. So I figured I would set you down so that way you don't get dizzy when I'm explaining things, but This is a little bin that I am keeping behind me just for everyday materials that I'm going to need to reach, because I don't want to have, you'll see my desk in a minute and you'll see that there's really not a lot of room anyway, but I don't want clutter on my desk. I want to have the space. So I have my planner, which I planned out my first week of school, and I'm actually gonna just have this in front of me while I'm teaching, because I made like lots of detailed notes on here. As you can see, it's like completely filled each day, and I want to be able to glance at this while I'm virtually talking to the kids, and I want to be able to like not forget anything. So I'm going to keep this right on my desk, but I didn't want to clutter up the space right now. And then this is my little notebook that I have put every single thing since the beginning of quarantine, literally since what was that, March. I have just used this notebook for school, wedding planning, my budgeting, like you name it. I have been writing so many notes in this notebook, so I wanted to keep this on me because I have a lot of notes in here from all of the meetings that we've had the last week, and I don't want to forget anything. So this is just like my little spare note. Like even if I'm teaching and the students say something and I'm like, oh yeah, like I don't want to forget that, I'll jot it down on there. So that's probably another thing that I'm just going to keep out on my desk while I'm teaching. And then I have a Walk Two Moons book, which I read this summer because I'm going to be teaching it this year. And then this is just like a student packet. I haven't even looked at that yet because we won't get into the novel unit probably after Christmas. So just wanted to keep that there though so I don't forget it. But those are just two important things, or a couple important things that I'm keeping in here. And then everything under here I can kind of show you, but it's not really relevant. Under here is actually just a bunch of files that I have for, like I have notebook, extra school supplies, laminating sheets, binders. Like both of these are just regular materials that I need. This is just like my normal storage for it. And then I obviously have a list of, or a bunch of books here, printer paper down there, and then like a 3-hole punch and an iron. Like it's honestly, this is like real life here, and I'm just using this space as my little backdrop. And then in the corner, you'll see my slippers. I have these slippers linked in my Like It to Know It app if you guys are interested. These are like the best little slippers ever, and I'm keeping these here because I plan on standing while I'm teaching, and this hardwood floor hurts if you're like standing on it for a while, so I plan on wearing these. And then I have my curriculum bag there, which has all the textbooks that I need. Another thing that I have here is a fan, which you see, which is literally not pretty at all. But this room gets really hot. We don't have air conditioning in this room. So we have air conditioning in our bedroom, which is like right there, and it, you know, kind of keeps it cool up here overall, but it gets really hot, and I plan on teaching just like this, like standing up. And if you know me and you know my teaching style, I'm loud, I move a lot, and I'm probably gonna get really hot. So I wanted to keep a fan here just to kind of cool me down. Over in this corner, I have obviously an oil diffuser going, and I have some oils in it, and I do have a lot of my teaching and school type of oils. So I have peppermint, because peppermint is good for all the things, focus, headache, brightening, awakening, all that good stuff. So obviously I keep peppermint there, that's my favorite oil. And then I have KidSense Genius, which is like one of my favorite smelling oils, and this just helps to focus. And even though it's from the KidSense line, it works for any age. And then I have Common Sense, which does as it says. Envision, which is one of my all-time favorite oils, and this just helps like envisioning a future. It just helps like spark creativity and focus. So I use this one almost every single day. I usually drop it on my head. And then I have Valor, which is like courage in a bottle, and I plan on diffusing and wearing this on the first day, probably the first week, because I'm gonna be pretty nervous. So wanted to keep these ones close nearby. The other things that I have in this little corner are just like my water to add water to my diffuser. I have a coaster because I plan on keeping water and coffee near me like at all times. I have a little bulletin board here, and this is just gonna have all of my, like whatever I need to just have on me at all times. And right now I have my schedule on there and the times, because I'm at a new school this year and our schedule's obviously different. So I wanted to keep all the times here so that way I can just look over and know like when to get on that Google Meet immediately. And then a box of tissues, nothing special. If you're wondering why I have my laptop propped up here, this was just like a little crate that I actually found in our basement, and I have it here because like I said before, I cannot teach like sitting down, especially in this type of setting. So I wanted something to just prop up my laptop, and this is just what we had. I'm just using whatever we had in our house, and I plan on just opening up my laptop, teaching from it, and this way I can maneuver a little bit. It's obviously super lightweight, so if I decide to sit down at all, then I can do that. Like, we have pretty much the second half of the day to do like prep and office hours and meetings and all that kind of stuff. So obviously I'll probably be sitting for that portion, but for the actual teaching portion, I needed to be standing, so I just found what we had, and I just put a clipboard here so that way it's not like a bunch of holes and stuff. And then I wrote a little post-it note, record here. If you are teaching younger kids, I am teaching 7th grade, and I don't even think I need to be recording, but I wrote it there just in case, but I'm not 100% sure yet if I'm gonna even have to do that. But I know a lot of elementary school teachers do have to record their meetings, and I do highly suggest this. I know some people are even propping up their phone like how I have my camera right now, and they're gonna teach that way. They're just gonna have like their phone recording. My only thing is I plan on presenting my screen almost every single day. So even if I record my lessons this way, it's not really gonna help them because they're not gonna be able to see what's on the screen. So I'd have to actually screen record. So I just put a little post-it here to kind of remind myself to do that. Over in this corner, I just have my little attendance book, which again, this was from my classroom Amazon wish list, and someone was so sweet to buy for me. I'm so excited. But I have a little post-it here to write out my attendance, and that way I can always have a printed copy of attendance. I do have the attendance extension from Google Docs, but I like having a printed copy so I can just look right in front of me at all times and see who was here that day, who was late. Okay, that's a little bit better. You're a little high up, but you get the gist. I do have the attendance extension off of Google, which I highly suggest getting. It's obviously free, takes 2 seconds to download, but it will take your attendance for you. You don't have to put in class lists. You don't have to do anything like that. You just add the extension to your computer, and whoever logs into your Google Meet, it will make a list. It will tell you the time that they logged in, and then when you cancel out the meeting, like you literally just hit exit, it will automatically download a PDF of everybody that was there and the times they came in. So that is how I am taking attendance every day, and then during my prep time or office hours or whatever, then I will write it in here. This is an extra step that you don't have to do, but like I said, I like having a printed copy of the attendance because there has been countless times where I've spoke to parents or kids and just said like, look, you weren't here this day, this is the day that you missed, whatever. Like, this was the work that you missed that day. You get the point if you're a teacher, but I always have a printed copy of attendance, always. And then I just have literally post-its here to take any notes. And then this is super fun. I will actually link this down below if I can find them again, but these were a free download from a teacher, I think it was called like Kindergarten Smorgasbord or something like that. I will link it down below because I do have it. But these were completely free to download. He was so nice to do that. I downloaded them, printed them out, laminated, and cut them. So I have a yes and no, and then I just literally taped them to a popsicle stick. So I have a yes or no. I have an agree or disagree. This one I actually made myself, but it was just literally, I just got some clip art off of Google and made agree, disagree signs. So super simple. I don't even know if I'm gonna use them, but I figured why not have them. And then these I definitely plan on using, especially when kids first log into the meeting. I'm probably gonna be like sitting there like, hey, like doing something and just holding this up and being like, don't forget, because I plan on having all my students come in and immediately mute their mic. So I wanted to have this just to have, I have 7th graders, so they're not like babies, but they're also not at that age yet where it's like self-explanatory to them that they should do this. So I wanted to have a visual, even though we're gonna go over it a million times the first week and probably second week, I wanted to have a visual for them so that way when they come right in, they can just do it and it'll just like, hopefully become routine for them. Here I just have pens, pencils, Sharpie, scissors, highlighters, and then these are all of the learning objectives for my board that I showed you earlier. These are not obviously all of the learning objectives. If you know the Common Core standards for PA, there's obviously a ton of them. These are just a couple main ones that I figured I would print out that could pretty much work for like any lesson. And I'm gonna leave them in here, and I plan on changing these out regularly, but like I said, I don't think they're gonna even be able to read them, so we'll see. I honestly don't really have anything that I changed in my drawers here. I kind of cleared out this one a little bit. This is just like Aunt's scrapbook, and then there's like tape, literally a pencil and chapstick and some tape because I just don't really plan on needing to use this space. This drawer over here has not changed at all. I literally just have my Cricut materials, my welcome package materials, and all that kind of good stuff. So like I said, this is still my regular desk that I need, so I have not really changed the drawers. And then underneath of the table, I have my printer, my Cricut, my laminator, and all of my files over here. Again, it's messy, but that's real life, and I don't have a space for them right now. I did want to ask you guys for your recommendations. I have a ring light, and I wanted to know if you thought it would be too much. So where my camera is sitting right now, I want to know in the comments if you think it is way too extra, or if you think it's a good idea if I use my ring light to teach. So please let me know, because if I don't use my ring light, this is kind of the lighting that I'm working with. And give me your thoughts. Do you think that it's necessary? Do you think it's a good idea, or do you think it's just way too extra? That is everything for my virtual classroom tour. I hope that you found it really helpful and motivating. Again, please try not to compare yourself or feel like you have to do any of this. This is completely just something that I wanted to do. And just remember that you are doing your best. If you are a teacher or even a student in this time, it is not an easy time. Everyone is stressed, and all you can do is the best that you can. So try not to stress too much. Take it day by day, and everybody's in the same boat, and we can't control any of this, so just do the best that you can. And I hope this video was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments if it was by giving it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and I will see you in the next video.